Hey, welcome to the Personal Development Unplugged podcast. Do you ever feel down? I feel down sometimes. And sometimes I used to leave it, but now I don't. I think it's important that we know how to change the way when we're feeling down and what to do. A lot of people don't tell you this. Would it be important to you to learn how to change the way you feel? Do stuff? Come with me on a little conversation. It's not that long. And you might just learn something that may change your life.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey friend, we're back again, you and I together, just checking in. And this is about checking in. And what I'm going to tell you, or converse, have a conversation with you, I want to get down to the thing about, the important thing about we all get down. And I think it's important to share that. But more importantly, how to change that. Would that be important to you? Because I bet you're like me, aren't you? You felt down in the past, maybe down right now. Wouldn't it be important to know how to change? And also just to, get inside ourselves and understand this. Just to acknowledge it as opposed to push it away. Because when you push things away, they bloody push back harder. So here's the thing. Checking in. Question to you. Do you check in with yourself? Do you? Really? Because I know I do, but I don't do it enough. I do it in my journaling, but that's first thing in the morning. That's part of my morning ritual. Try to keep the sequence. I've been doing it for blooming donkey's years now with times off, but most mornings, cup of coffee, I'm journaling. Nice bit of soft music in the background. But in the day, do you check in yourself? I know I don't. Not always. Unless it's something too big. And sometimes when it's too big, we get overwhelmed by it, don't we? And you see, personal story, just between you and I. You see, lately, I've been a little bit up and down. And the ups haven't been that high. But the downs have been a bit lower than I really want. They really are. And, I've been looking at those downsides. And a lot of it is, they've come out in the way that I behave. I've been getting a little bit angry about things. Things have been triggering stuff off, which I don't like. And did I suddenly check in myself? I'll say that again. In those times, did I check in with myself? Don't think I did. Only until the day after, or when I'm in a particular way that I think I'm going to spend 20 minutes just seeing where I am today. Not because of what I've been doing, but just time to check in. And I think that's really important. Even if you don't do it at the time, you do check in. You put time aside to check in on a daily basis. You see, for me, I thought to myself, it's probably just this lockdown stuff. We're so near to the end of this lockdown, certainly in the UK, and I hope you are too. Hope you're better than us. And it could be that. That's what I thought. But then I thought to myself, I've been struggling though. And the struggle could be down to lockdown, but there's some things that keep coming back up. Some things that have been reminding me of things in the past. Things I thought I'd maybe got over. I don't know. I'll tell you about that, or what I did about that in a moment. But I wanted just to talk with you on a personal basis. I'm sharing a little bit about me. But I wondered, what about you? Have you been struggling? I mean, if we were to just check in now, if you're struggling now, let's just check in on that. But also, if you're not down right at this moment, but you have been a little bit, or your moods haven't been quite the way you want them, or you've been just having a little bit of negative emotion somewhere, or, just that feeling or that thing. Just check in now with no judgment. Just want you to go into that feeling and just notice what comes to mind in that that little internal representation, as we call it, that movie screen of your mind, as you get in touch with that feeling, what are the pictures that come into mind right now? Are they the ones that you just had? Or do they, like me, take you back into times you thought you dealt with? Which is strange, because they weren't giving me the negative emotions that I was feeling right back then, but it was just this emotion, this little down emotion was still taking me back. So what are the pictures in your mind? How big are they? Is that movie screen really big, or is it dark? Is it light? Is it movie? Is it still? Sometimes you see them in sepia. Maybe you're just aware of it, but without seeing it, because that's another way of visualizing. You're just aware of things. It's like intuitively, you know something's there. And what do you hear? What's the voice you have? I'm always interested in the voice. Oh, are you talking to yourself about it now? Or maybe there's somebody else's voice there. I don't know. And no judgment. There's no judgment. We're just noticing and acknowledging it. And certainly if this is things from the past, we can acknowledge the past, that they are in the past. If time exists, is it just a concept? But if time existed, it's gone, because there's only now. And that's gone. We can learn from it. And which is what this might be where this might be coming from. I don't know. But it's interesting to check in. Just to check in. Maybe there's a smell and taste that is really specific to this. Or maybe you're thinking not of the past. You're thinking of the future. And maybe this is the downside. Maybe you're getting frustrated about things. I don't know. Just bear with me for a moment. And bear with yourself. Because we all do feel down now and again. But the thing is, I don't want you to dwell. We're not going to dwell on this. I just want you to explore it. Because if you don't acknowledge it and you push it away, as I say, your unconscious mind will push it back. And it pushes back even stronger, I think. Because we are not learning the lesson. Because there's something here. There's something that inside us is either trying to make us stronger, trying to just take us away from something, has this wonderful positive intention. But there's something here. And that's why it keeps coming back. And that's what I kept thinking. But I also kept thinking, what's the point of this? Especially the things that I was thinking about that was bringing me down. What the blooming hell's the point? Why carry on? Why carry on? Because I don't really like this feeling. It's not dramatic. It's not, PTSD or anything remotely like that. But I just thought to myself, this is repeat. Why? Why bother, Cluffy? If it's going to make you feel this way, why even bother? I'm not going to tell you what the thing is. But then I had a thought to myself. Do you know what, Cluffy? When you were in a bad place, they were really black days. And they've gone. You've dealt with that. You've gone through that. They were horrible memories. Not horrible memories, but at that time, they were horrible. And at the time when I was trying to get through it, they were not a good place to be. But the thing is, we got through it. And I say we as in you and I, my unconscious mind, that's my name for my best friend. And me, the two of us, we got through it. We did loads of stuff. I've narrated about this. I've written a book about it. I do the podcast with loads of stuff around the things that I taught myself and learned and did in those dark days. I brought here. And I got through it. So I thought to myself, that's the bloody point. You've got through it. There were times before that you felt absolutely bloody awesome, Cluffy. There were times since then you felt bloody awesome. So this is just a blip, isn't it? And that's what I want you to consider. You go back, or not necessarily go back, you stop and you just check in with yourself. Because it's also good to check in if you're feeling great anyway. Because this isn't all about negative stuff. Sometimes, big generalization, we seem to check in on the negative stuff all the time. It comes readily to mind, doesn't it? It's that protection thing again in that little old reptilian brain of ours. Anything negative comes to the forefront of our mind so it can protect us from it happening again. But I want you to check in for checking in's sake. How do I feel? Do I feel good? If I feel good, what is making me feel good? What are the things that have triggered this off? And what does feeling good feel good like? Or what does feeling good feel good or feel like. Get the words out, Cluffy. Because you can remember this. And I noticed the things that I'd done to push on. And think of yourself, what have you pushed on? I know I kept pushing on with my journaling, even though nothing seemed to be there sometimes. And the things that were there seemed to be negative, and they kept poking me. And I kept saying, no, I'm not going to keep writing about the negative stuff. This is not a negative book. If I'm going to write about negative things, I want to write about the things that these negative things are teaching me. And that's what I did. I carried on. I carried on checking in. I carried on writing my journals, and I carried on doing stuff that I knew, the processes that I knew, because I knew there's something to learn here. And that's what I did. I went back and learned stuff. And it was really good because, first of all, why am I telling you all this? Well, the main thing is I want to tell you that it's important that we do get down. So just acknowledge it, because we're going to move on and move through it, because it's teaching us something. So don't push it away. We just ask the question, maybe what can I learn from this? What are you trying to tell me? But also to just check in on the good things. So I'm not trying to big myself up for pushing through, Cluffy. But I'm telling you, that's the type of thing that we can do together. We push through this in a way that is positive, knowing that something's going to happen, asking right questions. You see, I want to share some of this personal stuff with you that's going on in my head, but also share the personal stuff that I did to get through this, so we can all get through stuff like this. This is what it's all about. This integrated field of learning is sharing the processes, like the hypnosis tracks I've got. You know where to get them. paulcloughonline.com/podcast. There's a little one. Anyway, we all go through stuff, and that's why I want to share it with you, because sometimes we think about this. When you're felt down, do you feel that you're the only person feeling down? I know I bloody do. I felt I'm the only person in the world feeling this way, and every other person I see wandering around, I think, oh, you're so happy, you don't know how I feel. Maybe that's a bit too much information, but that's what goes in my head when I'm walking around and I'm seeing these people. I can imagine them smiling on the outside, on the inside. They don't know how I feel. But that's poor me then, isn't it? Poor me. So I've got to get through that. So I check in, what's going on here? And the thing about this, when you tell people about this in a good way, and you share it with them, you're helping them, because you're showing them there's a way. I mean, one of the things I did, and it's just a process I know, and I'll share it with you sometime. You see, I was checking in, and I said to myself, I know I got this feeling now. I went inside, because one of the things what was happening was that when I was journaling, I kept getting this weird blooming feeling. So I just stopped there and then. Didn't finish my journaling page. I just said, right, that's it. I'm going to check in on this. You're giving me this feeling for a reason. And to ignore it isn't right. So I just stopped, closed my eyes, and I paused. And I just acknowledged this feeling, just as we've done a minute ago. Go in, what's the internal representation? What's the picture I'm making on my mind? And then I did a particular process. And it's called core transformation. You can look it up. It's an NLP process created by the Andreas family. It's a great process. I love it. But I did it slightly different, because I always do things slightly different. And it wasn't as if I got this wonderful aha moment, but I did in a way, because I just felt clearer. I don't know what it was. It wasn't tangible that I could go, oh, now I know the answer. But it was literally just keep going and asking this little part of me to be brave, to come with me and say, what do you want? What are you trying to do for me? And if you got that, what would you really want for me? And if you got that, what would you really want for me? And if you got that part, what would you really do for me? And when you get that highest, it's called the highest core value, core emotion, just notice the conflict with the way I'm feeling now and that core emotion. And what would happen when I have this wonderful core emotion in place of this? What would happen? And boom, it makes everything clearer, which meant I could start journaling again. and journaling with a different feeling. I could look back and I started writing about what I was grateful for. And when you start writing about what you're grateful for, or just thinking about what you're grateful for, bringing into mind, changing that internal representation to remember all the things that you feel good about, what you're so grateful for, the people in your lives, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're alive, the fact that you're breathing, the fact that you've got a chance to make a difference in the world, all the things you've ever learned, just the way your eyes work or your ears work or your body works, how you can be so grateful for everything in this bloody life. And that just changed my filters. And I felt different. And it all started because I just stopped and paused. And we talk about that so often. And it is so blooming important. But add that to a little bit of acknowledgement. Add that to doing a particular process or hypnosis track. And then going back to maybe that journaling or just being grateful, getting a grateful diary, a grateful journal. The act of gratitude. And the thing is, and I know it happens, that when you get those type of feelings and for no reason at all, things seem to change on the outside. Suddenly, coincidences started to happen. Things serendipitously, which is a lovely word, isn't it? Serendipitously came to mind. Intuition, things happened. And I also thought about, we've talked about David Goggins with his attitude of never giving up. No one is going to put me down. And you remember I did that thing, I won't say the full word, but it's mother tude. And that's it. I'm going to do things. I'm going to find things. And the thing is, what came to mind and for this particular podcast is, if we're going to nip things in the bud, we look at them at the early days, don't we? We look at them early. So that's when stopping and pausing and just checking in on yourself. How do I feel today? How do I feel? And then you can do the things that are going to help you. As I said, the hypnosis tracks, look for books, inspirational videos, getting your journals, and then stopping and going inside and then just being grateful again, asking those wonderful questions, all because you can and what you're going to achieve when you do that. And when you ask, maybe just ask, what's the opposite of this feeling anyway? Not the gratitude feeling, because that's awesome, because you can anchor that as well. A finger and thumb together. I like to use different anchors instead of just squeezing a finger and thumb when you feel that really good feeling and then fire it off again. Well, you've only got 2 thumbs and 2 fingers, but you've got lots of other different ways you can uniquely squeeze or touch your body in that special way that when you replicate it again, you get that feeling again. But if you just think, this is my down feeling, what's the opposite to this? What would be the antidote or the complete opposite to this feeling that would make me feel absolutely awesome? So put one aside, think about the really good feeling, anchor it by that unique feeling, giving it a word, and then notice which one's better. Now, I know it's obvious which one's better, but ask your unconscious mind, which one is better for your positive intention? Because feeling bad is a conflict, because something is not working. And then every now and again, just to reinforce things, fire off the anchor, say that word, and boom. And just do it whenever that negative feeling comes along. Smash it out of the way, in a good way. You're saying to your unconscious mind, but what about this instead? How can I get the positive intention you're trying to do for me with this feeling instead? Now you're starting to get what really happens to your unconscious mind, and it's got to say, damn, I've got to do this. Well, it might not say damn, but add to it in a healthy way. Just intuitively start doing things, do something to make things the way you want in a healthy way. Stop, pause, and ask your unconscious mind, how can I keep this intention and find better ways, better healthy ways that allow me to feel safe and good as well? Because you do not have to accept the way you feel. Because I just know there's a better way. There's always a better way to do anything. There's a way, way better way to do anything. That even if you're doing something bloody awesome, there's always a better way. And all you have to do is keep asking inside, because that's what you'll find. You will find the way, the Tao, as they say. And I think that's why it's important. And this all comes from just feeling a little bit down, but you can use it for anything. Maybe you're feeling a big bit down, but sometimes it's the pushing away that makes it so much stronger. Whereas you acknowledge it and say, well, what can I do? What can I do to change this? Now, you've got, as I said, the hypnosis tracks here. paulcloughonline.com/podcast. Sign up to that and you've got 50 plus hypnosis tracks, NLP processes. You'll find something that will, even if it doesn't resolve it, will take the edge off. If it's something bigger, because you've noticed it, because you've just checked in with yourself, you then decide to do something about it. So you go and get help, one-to-one help. Find somebody who's, for me, would be a blooming good hypnotist who knows NLP and timeline therapy. You get someone like that and you're going to, it's someone like me. No, yeah, it is someone like me, because I just know that for me and the way I've seen my clients change, those skills, those processes contained within those skills of NLP, hypnosis and timeline therapy just get results really quickly, really comfortably. And you don't have to go back into those old memories. And that's the best thing about the way I work. You never have to go back to the old memory and feel the old feelings. Doesn't happen. Can't have it. Just don't like doing that. So I'm not going to do it. But I will get your unconscious mind to learn from it and how to let it go to get the way you want. So the important thing is how to change. You can find a way. There's plenty of episodes here. We've got 500 plus episodes in this podcast alone that you could just scroll through and look for. I mean, I know my titles are weird, but notice which one just springs to mind. It jumps out of your phone or whatever. You go, I'm going to do that one. It's 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I can do something like that because I'm doing something for me. If you're going to listen to a hypnosis track and you're not quite sure which one, do the same thing. You scroll down, which one looks like, which jumps out to me, which intuitively do I think is going to help me? And then what you do is just before you start listening, before you press play, you get in your comfortable place. You get where you're not going to be disturbed. You get comfortable. Maybe you're a little bit curious. That's setting your state. And then set your intention. And your intention is, I want to find a better way to keep the intention and have healthy, new behaviors that keep me comfortable and I enjoy. State it out loud or something similar. And then press play. And you're telling your unconscious mind to use this hypnosis track the best way it can to generate that result. That's the way I use all my hypnosis. And that's the way I work with people. They come to me, they have an issue. We notice that they were at the effect side of life. We then find the root cause. And I have this positive intention. We're going to find a better way. I'm going to support your unconscious mind to find another way, a better way, a healthy way to make you feel good so you can have the life you deserve, that you can have your dreams, have those dreams become reality, and better than that, and better than them. And just enjoy life because you can. And that's what we do. So you can do all of that. And that's why I've prattled on a bit now. But I just want you to get ready for action. Check in on yourself. If you're feeling good, make it even better. If you're not feeling quite so good, just do what we talked about. Check in. Notice what you can learn from it. Notice how you can never give up. Have that feeling, that David Goggins feeling. That's what you're going to do. And with that, I hope that you never have a down feeling ever in your life. But if you do, you know how to deal with it. It's not difficult. Not easy, because the uneasy bit of it is you have to do the bloody stuff. You have to go and do whatever it takes. You've got to have that will to do whatever it takes. Because as I say here so often now, if all you're going to do is listen to this, thanks very much. I'd say thank you. but you're not going to get anything out of it apart from a little bit of intellectual, well, not from here anyway, not intellectual, but you're just going to get some knowledge. But when you put that knowledge into action, the magic happens. You sit down for a spell. It's good to change. It's a lovely day for a change. And with that, just wondering, do you know, if you were to wonder what would happen if my unconscious mind was to surprise me for feeling happy for no reason. And when I checked in on it, I felt awesome and found better ways to do it even more. I wonder what that would be like. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that ramble around, because I knew I was better than this bad feeling, or not this down feeling. And I know you're better than this too. Go play with your life. Have a wonderful adventure, starting now. So don't go just yet, please. Just hang on for a moment or two, because where do you go from here? Well, you go from here to the next episode, obviously. But also, I just want you to consider, when are you going to check in again? When are you going to start using this stuff? Are you going to start making a note about it? Are you going to put it on your phone just to remind yourself? Maybe a little alarm to say, I got 5 minutes to check in, and feel grateful, feel good. Because when you do that, you're going to make a hell of a difference. But you have to do the things you know. Do the things you learn, and you're going to learn more by doing them, and you're going to create more stuff. So please, just before you go, just have a think about that right now. And as you're thinking about that right now, maybe you could go, well, I could also share this with somebody, couldn't I? I could share it with loads of people right now because I really want to. I want to share it right now. You could say that, couldn't you? Or you could just do that right now. And also, you could say, well, what was it about those hypnosis tracks? Well, this is what it's about, those hypnosis tracks, all in 90 seconds. So, the 90 seconds of hypnosis tracks. Why have I put hypnosis tracks on a separate website? Well, it's so simple, really. I wanted you to have them all in one place, so you can look through them all. You can find the particular one you want. I've even made them downloadable, so you can put them on any of your playing devices that you prefer. You don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need the iTunes or whatever. You can put them anywhere you like. You can even burn them onto disk if you want. Where do you get them? Well, there you go. I told you, it's paulcloughonline.com/podcast. If you're worried about your email address, please don't be, because they stay totally safe with me. I only use them to send you out that email and give you access. Simple as that. I send you a link, a special link, so you and only you can access those hypnosis tracks, because I want them just for you. And the other thing about this is you've taken responsibility. I don't want to make these open to everyone, just random. You have taken responsibility to listen and be part of this community of personal development. And I want to help you. I want to help you personally to get your dreams, your goals. And therefore, I'm giving you these tools, these protocols, these paradigms, whatever you want to call them, but in deep hypnosis. So just enjoy. Have more fun than you can stand with hypnosis. There you go. That's hypnosis tracks. You go there, but when you go there, instead of just getting, I think it's 40% off. It is 40% off the programs that I've got on Paul Clough Online. Remember, the code for that is PDU40, the number 40. You get 40% off. Use that as a code. You'll get 40% off all the programs, all the hypnosis tracks there, the premium hypnosis tracks, that is. But if you sign up for the hypnosis tracks, which you need anyway, just to make a difference to your world, you get a bigger percentage off. And you get that in the newsletter. You get that in your introductory letter. So find out about that. Just notice they're there for you to make a difference to your life. Please do have a listen, share, and more importantly, have a bloody good time. Till the next time, my friend, is Paul Clough, hopefully making a difference.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.